Our next presentation is starting right now in the academic learning collaboration slot. That is, let's see, we're looking for Miguel Laginha, and he's going to present on the LMS and Beyond OAE. And Miguel is a driven software engineer and an open source data source enthusiast. Are we ready to give Miguel the screen? Wilma, we're still seeing your photo.
I am almost
There we go.
there. All right. Can you see the slides now? All right.
Yes, we see your screen, Miguel.
All right. Cool. So hi everyone. My name is Miguel Laginha. I'm the tech lead for the Open Academic Environment, OAE for short, and welcome to the session. I'm going to talk about, give you a high-level overview of the of OAE. Then I'll go through some of the current project goals and the current status of the project. And finally, I'll tell you how you can get involved. So let's start with a project overview. At its heart, OAE is a collaborative platform for academia. But I usually think about it as a set of tools that enable people to collaborate. It doesn't matter if it's students or staff or researchers. It's mostly a set of tools deeply integrated that allow people to work together for whatever reason. So its main concepts are the ones that are listed. I mean, you as a user on the system are enabled to collaborate and contact other users, form groups with those users, and then interact with content. And all of that is supported by a set of tools that allow you, I'll go through some of the features next, but you have lots of really good mechanisms.
Miguel, the group would like you to speak a little louder. Can you raise your volume or on your machine or in your voice?
I will try.
That's better.
All right. All right. So I was talking about, you have content revision mechanisms, a really good permission system that allows you to set the visibility that you want, the privacy that you want for the content that you create or upload to the system. And at the end, there's always an activity stream, pretty much like a social network that allows you to keep track of what's going on related to the content that you're collaborating on or the users that you follow. So you have all these nice features that together really set the stage for you to collaborate and work together with other people. This is a really simple diagram of what I've been talking about. So there are groups, users, then there's you and your content, and you manipulate content and you work together as a result. So what makes OAE stand out from other collaborative platforms is unique features such as being multi-tenant, which for those of you who are not familiar, means that with a single large installation, you can basically provide instances to different departments or different faculties or just different groups, each having their own domain and their content being completely isolated. So in a way, it feels like different systems, even though it's just the one, technically just one. OAE doesn't force you into specific processes or methodologies. Everything is pretty flexible. You can work together. You can work and collaborate using different tools. You don't have to achieve, for you to achieve something, you don't have to follow a specific process. You can achieve it in different ways. So it's very much up to you on how you want to work with other people. And there's a high degree of flexibility for you to do that. There's also built-in REST API. OAE is built upon its own API, in fact. So it means that whenever we update and whenever we deploy OAE, there's always an API for other people to build stuff upon if they want, or integrate some tool with OAE that's pretty much out of the box. OAE also supports LTI and XAPI standards, so that's pretty much that's pretty cool if you want to build stuff using OAE. And there's also collaborative editing, which adds Google Docs-like environment for you to create documents in spreadsheets. I think we announced last year the final release of having EthaCalc, which is a third-party open source product as part of OAE. We used to have and still have EthaPad. So if we bring those together in OAE and we integrate it with the permission mechanism and all the remaining concepts. Yeah.
Miguel, there's a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you use the Open API specification, OAS, for your APIs?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Even XAPI, I think it's not being used as it stands, I think. Going on. So Jitsi meetings, for those of you who don't know Jitsi, it's an open source alternative to Zoom. It's also being used in France. I'll go into that in a bit. So if you create groups, you can basically create an instant classroom with all the users from that group using Jitsi. OAE is multilingual and has responsive design. Even though it's not perfect, it's there and it allows you to do pretty much everything using mobile device. Right, so obviously there are not so unique features which are more commonplace. Content management, I've talked about this earlier with a whole set of options regarding privacy and visibility, search visibility. You have content previews whenever you upload a picture or a PDF or whatever, you have previews all over the place. Group management, discussions like threads, authentication mechanisms you can use from local to Google, Facebook, or Shibboleth, etc. And obviously search as well, which is pretty comprehensive. Right, so project goals. The first one, obviously, is to enhance academic collaboration. OAE is a collaborative platform at its heart. So any idea that we might have or someone might have to enhance and make it more faster or just simpler or whatever new flows of collaboration, they're always welcome. It's also a goal to contribute to the NGDLE ecosystem, where OAE is not an LMS, but it's really good at collaboration. And whenever there's a feature that could fit into OAE and help building the NGDLE ecosystem, that's also welcome to at least to be discussed. It's an important goal to become a friendly integration platform. So as I mentioned, we support a couple of standards. We have the REST API. One of the major goals is to have OAE not standing by itself and do a lot of things. We want to do a small set of things well, and then provide the tools and provide the mechanisms to integrate with other tools in the ecosystem. And finally, foster an active community, because as you all know, OAE is open source, and even though the community is not active as it stands, it is a goal to do so in the future. All right, so let's move on to project status. As most of you know, I'm guessing the project has been active for over a decade, since 2009, but it's still going strong. There is a large deployment in France through the ISO organization with, I'm guessing 20 active tenants. I'm going to talk about it later. So it's a big part of what we do to do maintenance and to focus on those users and those groups and the needs from the universities that belong to ISO. And like I said, right now, the community is quite small, and I think that one of the big reasons is the technological stack is not very developer friendly. We've had some developers come in trying to contribute and do stuff, but OE is quite large and quite complex in its architecture because it was designed from the start to be very scalable. And one of the drawbacks of that is that it's not easy to get started. So basically, the tech stack is kind of draws people away. But that is also something that we've been trying to solve. So there's a Pakai deployment. Here are some stats: 20 active tenants, almost 40,000 users, or 7,000 groups, and over 100,000 documents stored. So yeah, I think it's pretty impressive for such a small team. But you know, it's a really good starting point, and it's really good to know how your software is being used daily. Here are two charts from GitHub, I'm guessing, that kind of show you the momentum of the project. I haven't gone through the whole history of the project, but as you can see, there's a small pause just between 2016 and 2017. That's when the previous team left. And then obviously work resumed. In 2018, one of the stakeholders, research, dropped in the consortium. So as a result of that, there was low activity in 2018 as well. But I think we're slowly resuming, and this is just one of the repositories of the project. We have like, you know, some, I think around 10 or something. So this is not the whole story. There's more work that's not being reflected on this chart. And you can see the commit frequency. I'm guessing the second chart, which is, you know, pretty stable at the moment, pretty regular. All right. So what is the project focus right now? The biggest focus is the redesign effort. So basically, when I joined the project, one of the things that I felt that needed change was the image, which was quite outdated. So we've partnered with we were working with a designer for over a year. Last year, we presented some of the sketches that we had, some of the mock-ups, but now they're refined, and I'm going to show you some of those in a bit. So we're redesigning the whole user experience. We're creating a new experience with enhanced usability, with a more leaner interface and mobile interface as well. It's being implemented, being implemented using web components. And I'm going to show you how it looks in a bit. Another focus is maximizing agility. The way, you know, being such an old project, so to say, there's a lot of technical debt, and being built in Node.js, for those of you who know JavaScript, and JavaScript land is not, you know, it's very volatile. And we need to make changes quickly, and we need to be swift in, you know, implementing features and enhancements and bug fixes. And it's not easy as it stands. So basically, maximizing agility, being able to move quickly, that's one of the biggest focus right now, and one of them has been one of the major hurdles. These two have been the major hurdles to do that, technical debt and the technical stack that is quite complex. Finally, making OE more friendly to newcomers. Like I said, it is hard to keep people attractive and willing to contribute because of the complexity of the technological stack. All right, so what does OE look like? I'm going to show you a few screenshots very quickly. This is the homepage for those of you who don't know OE. This is the activity stream that I was telling you about earlier. You have previews for pretty much everything. You can have content like links or images or Etherpad documents nicely integrated or spreadsheets. And you have previews for all of that. On the left-hand side, you have navigation links for you to check your library, where the content is listed and indexed, your discussions, your groups, and your network of fellows. At the top, you have the search bar, and you have the notification link for you to check everything that's going on. This is an example of image being uploaded. It's actually a screenshot of the new homepage. I'm going to show you that in a bit. So you can do pretty much whatever you want regarding permissions, regarding visibility, sharing it with other people, with other groups, moving it to folders, which basically act more like labels, but still possible. This is a screenshot of the Etherpad tool that is integrated into OAE. Right now, it's just a user, but other users could go to the same link and collaborate in real time in the same document, which is pretty cool. Alternatively, if you want to just upload static content and then comment on it, this is what it looks like. Discussion thread with nested levels for people to collaborate and comment on one another. All right. So that's OAE, but like I said, OAE is being redesigned, right? So I'm going to walk you through some of the screenshots and hopefully get some feedback. So this is the homepage of actually the project site, oaeproject.org. This is what it will look like. It's still a mock-up as it stands. This is the OAE homepage. So when you go to OAE, basically this is the first page that you get before signing in. This is the new dashboard. So you still have, the familiar visual artifacts from earlier, the search at the top, the navigation links at the left, and then the activity stream. Pretty much the same regarding the content, but I think it's way better regarding visibility and visually more appealing. I hope you agree with me. This is the group view. So I've created a group named Open Apereo 2020 with a description, and this is what it would look like. And finally, the library view, where you have all the content that you've created or uploaded or just other people share with you. How do you like that? Please let me know. So finally, ways for you to get involved in the project. Again, provide feedback. This would be a good start. Tell me what you think about the design. Also tell us about your ideas, because we've been working on OAE for so long now. Sometimes we are too stuck into what we do, kind of in a bubble. And maybe our crazy ideas of what's missing or what should be done are not so crazy after all. And sometimes we feel the need of new insights and new ideas for us to build our roadmap and constantly design and refine our vision for the future. You can contribute on GitHub, of course, through code or documentation. You can ask questions, which is often a good way for us to start thinking about things and start discussions on what should be done and how things should be done. And in case you want, you're interested in trying out OAE, there's a demo server being prepared for you, which will hopefully be available soon.
So Miguel, there's one question and a number of comments that I suggest you look at later, but the question in your last minute is, could you say a bit more about labels we can see in the new UIs?
Yeah, so basically, really quickly, so currently OAE has the concept of folders where you can move specific content to different folders. but this doesn't really make sense because folders, as we know it, are the unique type of folders where content can only belong to a folder, right? What we have currently is something that acts like a label, but it's named as a folder. So we are planning to just rename how the thing is exposed to the user. It's pretty much like a tag. You can add several tags to the same content, but it doesn't leave people into thinking that it's a hierarchy or there's different levels, right, as a folder works. So that's being fixed, so to say. It's going to be treated as a label, not as a folder, even though it acts the same way. All right, so really quickly, these are the project links, the homepage, the blog, the Discord, and if you want to check out the screenshots of the redesign, you can check out the design wiki. And this is all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Miguel. OAE has come a long way.